welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate it. So in today's video is our monthly collab we do every single month with some type of theme or something. This year, Faye has chose for us to do basically decade makeup looks starting with 1920s, which they did in February. I did miss that one. And then this month we're doing 1930s. Now what I will tell you is, doing some research and all of that, 1920s and 1930s makeup did not change very much. It pretty much was about the same as it was in the 1920s. Their main focus was very thin eyebrows, heavy mascara, and bright lips. And then some did a form of eyeshadow, usually a deep eyeshadow on their lids. Nothing precise or too, like, they literally took, it says in the information, they took their finger and would swipe on a dark shadow onto the lid, and that's about it. So that's what we're going to do today. Basically, the eye makeup was pretty much thin brows. That continued, like I said, from the 20s. Light eyeshadow, I researched, it was a lot of browns that they did use, darker browns. Heavy mascara. For the face, for the most part, all they did was heavy blush. They call it overdone cheeks, blush, heavy base. And then for the lips, it was a lot of reds and oranges. I do something like that today. And it also, I found something online which was pretty cool that gave, the website is glamourdays.com, and it goes by genre, and it just gives you a brief history of the makeup for that year and all of that. It was pretty interesting. I learned a lot of cool things of how it was. Now, personally, for me, I could not live in the 1930s because the type of makeup looks they did, they're not my cup of tea, but makeup definitely has elevated, I guess is the word I'm trying to say, since then. So they definitely have come out with a lot more different ways and concepts of makeup and things like that. I will say that it looks like their blush was pretty heavy, like in here, but I noticed in the 1930s they almost even brought it up to underneath their eyes, which is very interesting, like under their actual under eyes. I've seen quite a few pictures of that, and they even have like tutorials on how to do your brows. Like this, for instance, this is showing you how you should have your eyebrows in the 1930s if you drew them on, and to pluck them. Like, it literally tells you how to pluck them and the shape and everything. They were more like into that rounded shape type of thing. So, and then it shows here how the eyeshadow, they would take a color on their finger and put it on, and then they did their mascara and then their blush. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to do something. I did already have my brows from earlier, but obviously these are not the type of brows that they would do back then, so we're going to remove some of this. Really interesting. It's pretty cool idea and concept of all the different genres. So I haven't did my brows super thin in a long time, so hopefully I can get this right. They did round it like this, just like this. See? Just rounded. Almost like a rainbow shape, I guess, is the best way I can explain it. So we're just going to leave them like this. I did brush them, like I said, going this way, whereas now we put them up and kind of give them the feathery, natural look. They did not do that, obviously, back then. I'm going to leave it like that for now. I think that's fairly thin, and I feel like the shape is fairly close to what they did. So the next thing that they would go ahead and do, like I said, is they would just apply some form of dark colored shadow onto their lids, and they would use their finger. So I'm going to go ahead and just go into my Carly Bible palette right here. And I'm going to take this really deep brown because from what I saw in photos, that's pretty much a shade that they would do. So I'm just going to take my finger, gently go in it. Very, very pigmented. And they kept it like right on the lid. They didn't take it up. And they just sweeped it across. Just like that. Just like that. They literally, that's what they did. I will say that the concept is pretty cool because it probably didn't take them no time to do their makeup. And it was just, you know, not a lot of technique and things like that. So I feel like it would have been fairly easy for them. So let me tell you who's in the group. We have Faye Blatcher, who started the group. We have Jennifer Miller, who's known as Amethyst Winters. She's the one who initially got me introduced to Faye and invited into the group. Then we have myself. We have Desi from Desi's Corner. Chanel from EY Beauty. We have Beth from Beth's Makeup Diary. And then, am I forgetting somebody? Oh, Teresa from Teresa Ann 83. And they're all just great ladies. And I can say that I actually have built myself a friendship with each and every one of them. And I truly do care about each and every one of them. We all obviously reside different places. But definitely was a blessing to have been a part of this group. Just so grateful for it. I know when you're on YouTube, things can change a lot, but that's one thing that I'm trying to hang on to. I've had many friends come and go when it comes to YouTube. I've had a lot of people here on YouTube come and go, as you know, when it comes to friendships, but they're a group of ladies. There's even ladies that were in the group before that I still consider friends. They're just not in the group for whatever personal reasons, you know, life, things like that, whatever it may be, different, you know, want to take their channel maybe different direction. I still have great friendships with those people and still consider those people my friends. When I say that I have friends that I no longer talk to, those are the people that, the ones I'm referring to are people that I was friends with and then they no longer support my channel or talk to me or anything like that. That's a whole different thing. Okay, so this is pretty much how they would do their eyes. Oh, and I did read that they would take a shimmery white, like real bright white, and put it on the brow area. Kind of how we highlight the brow area with like some kind of bone color, but they would take like a shimmered. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take the color in here called Bear, and it's just a bone, but I'm going to try to make it intense where you could really see it, like right up there. I probably came too far down. See how I'm like making it super bright right there and just kind of, that's what they would do. They wouldn't even connect them. They would just make it super, super bright. And then what they would do is they would go ahead and like be real heavy with the mascara. So I have a little bit on, but I'm going to go ahead and just build that up. And then I'm going to put some on the bottom. The great thing is we don't have to do mascara the way they did back then. Because back then, if you research, they had a little metal tin can, and it was just like a little tin can with some black ink, I guess. I don't know what they call it. I'm probably saying it wrong. But what you'd have to do, they call it the spit can, I believe is what it said. They'd spit in it, and then they'd move their brush around and then put the mascara, and it would go on. I don't know that I would be able to do that. I would personally probably add water. That's just me. But that's what they did back then, from what it says. And that's how they did their mascara. They didn't have the luxury of just sticking the mascara wand in the tube and getting it out like we do today. Definitely shows, like I said, how makeup has definitely elevated in such a big way. And I'm sure if I lived at that time, I would enjoy it. But because I didn't, I'm kind of biased to it because I'm like, oh, I don't know that I would like this, but probably if I lived back then, I probably would have liked it. Okay, so I did both. See, that's what they did. They made it real heavy. They did put just a base powder. So what I'm going to do is take my Lancome right here, because it is a loose powder, and a puff. So I do have this puff. Of course, it wasn't shaped like a triangle. It was probably more fluffy, like a little pillow. But we're just going to use this. And we're just going to do the face. Just powder puff ourselves. And then we're going to go to blush. Like I said, they were very heavy on the blush. Very, very heavy. And I'm going to use this Patrick Ta palette that I got. I'm not going to use the cream side because I did already put the powder. But I'm going to go into this pink one here and just build that up. And the way they did it, like I said, is they almost even brought it underneath. Like underneath their eyes, like right here. This is how they did it, like right in here. It's going to seem weird, like, but this is what they did in the picture that I saw. So they would take it like right under the eye and bring it right here. Now this probably ain't gonna look good and look normal, but this is what they did. See how I'm doing it like right in here, even almost under the eye. It's strange, but that's what they did. But even bring it here on the earlobe. They said that it would extend the face. I don't know what that meant, but they would bring it here. I'm gonna have to wipe that because I put too much, but yeah, they would bring it on the earlobe. So this is what we have so far. You probably can't see the, there you go. You can see the blush a little better. My lighting's just a little bright. But now we're just gonna finish up with the lips. This ColourPop lipstick, and trust me, this is what it looks like. They did say that they overdrew their lips. They would bring it like super down or either go super short right here. Okay, so this is the completed look. You can see the roundness in the brows. Those were they were a lot thinner than this. To me, this is very thin, but back then it was even thinner. I couldn't get this one to match as good. The roundness there. We have the dark shadow on the lids, and then the bright white in the rim of the eyebrow. The mascara was very, very heavy, like so. And I did use my Maybelline Sky High. Such a great mascara, easy to take off. I mean, look at that. Looks like fall season. And as I was talking about the blush, like literally they brought it like all the way up under the eyes. You could see it's all right here. And then some on the earlobe, because that is the way that they did it. My lips are coming off more bright orange on camera, like an orange color, but it's a true red, like true apple red in person. I don't know why it's coming off like that on camera, but it is. But yeah, guys, so this is going to complete this look. I hope you enjoyed. All of the ladies will be linked down below. Definitely check them out if you haven't already. See what their looks are going to look like. We all do our own takes, which is great. Our channels are all very similar, but we also do some things that are different as well. And they're all just wonderful, wonderful ladies. And I definitely recommend them to you guys. Check them out, see if they're your cup of tea, and if you would enjoy watching their videos. I'm sure they would love to have you and would love for you to subscribe and visit their channel. So guys, again, this is the completed look. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.